Gary, a 3-0 defeat. Your thoughts on their performance?
Yeah, very frustrating. Really frustrating, I think, and came here on the back of obviously very, very good away form, and we've been good against these type of teams and these type of games. So, I think, in all honesty, I think to give, and I think they're a good side. They've got some very good individual players, but I think to give any team at this level a 2-0 lead, which is effectively what we did. The first goal was quite ironic because I wasn't quite sure what happened, and then I wasn't sure you're allowed to show replays in contentious moments, but I then had the opportunity to watch it twice on the Sheffield Wednesday highlights board, and it was a clear foul on Michael Morrison, and then Forestieri, it's hit his hand and gone in. So I didn't think the first goal should have standard, certainly. Second goal, we make a really, really poor error in terms of our defensive clearance. I think Specs reads the ball forward and clears it into Davo, and it ends up inadvertently putting Forestieri in, and he finishes it off quite well. So I think at that point, you go from being 0-0, where actually I didn't think we looked in that much trouble at that point. We had one or two opportunities the other end when we broke, but we didn't play with very good quality. Certainly that first 25 minutes, kept giving the ball away needlessly. And then finding ourselves 2-0 down very, very quickly. And then I think after that it was a tale again of them dropping in, us not being able to move the ball with enough tempo and enough quality. And that was a disappointing thing. Second half we've had 2 or 3 really good chances. I think we've hit the bar. Groundsy's had a save, and again, if you score that first goal maybe at 2-0 down, then the game's different. But I thought we were below standard today, which was particularly disappointing. I've just said to the players in there that when we don't press our half with aggression, and when we don't show that real toughness about our defensive shape, and when we don't sprint and get in people's faces, I just think we just look okay. And I don't want to look okay. I want to look a lot better than that. When we do things right, then we look a good side. So that was a disappointing thing, I think. To come here with so much optimism, and then that to dissipate very quickly. So not enough tempo, not enough toughness about us, and certainly very, very low on quality today, which was particularly disappointing.
But at 3-0 down, we had a host of chances, didn't we? To big Groundsy's header, and we hit the crossbar as well.
Well, he did, and sometimes you wonder whether that's the opposition taking the foot off the gas because they can, or whether that's just us livening up a little bit. But and we did liven up for about 10-15 minutes, but that's not enough. I said that's not enough in there to them. And again, I've said it before, we've got to be at it. We haven't got some of the individual players that some of the other teams have got, so we've got to be all at it. We've got to be a team. We've got to work incredibly hard, and I didn't think we worked very hard today. I don't know why, but that was the biggest disappointment for me. A lot of frustration on the sideline. I have to say once again, I thought the officiating was very, very poor, really, really poor. To see, I think it was Forestieri has actually jumped in on Mags on the halfway line with both feet, and Mags has won the ball, and the referee then books Jacques Magoma. I mean, if he sees that again, it's a really, really poor decision. And one or two as well. We get 3 or 4 bookings, and then Viv Solomon-Otterbour's running in the final third. He gets cynically brought down, and the referee has a chat for 2 seconds and then carries on. And I just don't get the lack of consistency. I don't think it would have massively changed the outcome of the game, of course. I don't think it would have changed the result, but I think it added to a particularly frustrating afternoon.
MK Dons on Monday. Is it a hindrance to have a game 48 hours or a positive?
Well, we've got no choice. That's the way it works in this country, unfortunately. I think for us with a small squad, you can look at it both ways. But I'm sure MK Dons won't be that much better prepared in terms of bodies, in terms of numbers. So, in some ways, it's a good opportunity for us to go and put. I mean, we should have saved plenty of energy this afternoon because we didn't really expend enough. And I would expect us to be really at it for the MK Dons game. And I said to the players, listen, you've got a really good chance of atoning for that performance, very quickly, and I'd like to think we will.
And the selection ahead of those games, you're hopeful that Clayton Donaldson is fit enough to get a starting berth, or Stephen Gleeson to get back in the side? Yeah,
I think ordinarily we might have put Clayton on a little bit earlier today, but at 3-0 down, I think there's a little bit you think, let's just save his legs. Like you say, you've got a big game coming up. We've not been helped recently. We've had a really kind of fractured spell in terms of team selection. yesterday got the news that Glees had a sickness bug. Shane Lowry went down with a sickness bug, so straight away you got 2 players missing that possibly would have started, and you got Dave Cottrell who just felt his hamstring the other day in training, so his knees feels fine, but his hamstring was a little bit tight. So again, we're just not quite able at the minute to pick sort of a team we're wanting to pick, but that's no excuse. We go out there and we should be able to give a better performance than that, and I'm certainly very disappointed.